Alright. It's been a while since I watched Impact Wrestling. 7 years to be exact. I know there's a lot of new people. I really don't even want to watch this show, honestly. But, you know, let's get something new on the channel. Let's check out Impact Wrestling for the first time in a while.
Come closer. Follow closer. Thank you for taking care of me. But there's something much bigger you need to take care of right now. Follow. You need to do this. I'll be fine. Follow, you need to go. Follow, go. Go get him, Follow. You can do it. Go, Follow. I believe in you.
What the fuck? Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Williams channel. Welcome to another video. This is your Impact Wrestling review. Yes, guys, I told you guys I was going to watch Impact Wrestling for the first time in 7 years. I said it like 2 weeks ago. Last week I didn't really get a chance to watch it, but I'm like, you know what? We're going to check it out this week. And oh boy, was this a very interesting episode, should I say. Mind you guys, last time I watched Impact Wrestling, Kurt Angle was on the show, Kevin Nash was on the show, Booker T was on the show, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, AJ Styles, Awesome Kong, Gail Kim, just to name a few. None of those people were on this show. Now, I don't mind if there is a whole new roster of people on the show. I think this is a good thing. I think WWE has a very bad tendency to heavily rely on the past, quote-unquote, the Attitude Era, to get them through rough times. When they have a whole roster full of new talent that they can push, but they choose to push guys like John Cena and Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker and The Rock whenever he's around and Triple H, and you guys get my point. So a whole new roster of people that's fine with me. I don't really care that I'm not seeing the guys I used to see when I watched Impact Wrestling. That's fine. But let's go through the match card anyway. So the first match we had was Tessa Blanchard versus Fabi Apache? I believe that's what her name was. I was really excited to see Tessa Blanchard wrestle. First time I saw her, the first exposure I had to her was in the Mae Young Classic last year, which I was very impressed by her. I was a little upset that she faced off against Kairi Sane and lost. She was in the... Basically, Killer Kelly had Tessa Blanchard's spot this year where she faced off against Meika Satomura and lost, where I felt like she should have went on a bit further. I saw Tessa Blanchard probably a handful of other times after Mae Young Classic, but I haven't really followed her. So not seeing if she's in Impact Wrestling, and she's the champion nonetheless. I'm like, oh, cool, I get to watch the show and see Tessa Blanchard wrestle every single week. That's good. This match was nothing special. I actually was not at all enamored with Fabi Apache, even though Tessa Blanchard put her over a lot after the match. Tessa Blanchard won the match at the underhook DDT. She cut her promo after the match saying how she ran through the rest of the roster and she beat the best in Mexico. Really? That was Mexico's best? I would hate to see who else comes from that country. Anyway, so that is not a racist remark, by the way. I was just saying that I didn't think Fabi Apache was really that good of a wrestler. But anyway, this basically, she says this makes her the best woman in wrestling. And she's interrupted via Titantron, via satellite by Taya Valkyrie, who sets out a challenge to Tessa Blanchard at Bound for Glory for the Knockouts Championship. Tessa Blanchard threw a hissy fit in the ring, and we kind of led on to the next match. There was a segment after this, but I don't really remember it. We didn't get into the next match. Jake Christ, I believe he's in a faction with Sami Callihan and some other guy I'm not really familiar with, versus Brian Cage, the Human Machine, or whatever his nickname is. I don't remember. This match is also nothing special. Jake Christ, I guess this is my first exposure to him. I didn't really care for the guy. Brian Cage, I know a lot about Brian Cage going into this from Lucha Underground and independent wrestling shows I've seen. Really impressive guy. He flew around the ring a few times. He did his power moves, bail toss and all those powerhouse moves, He had a 619 in this match, which I was I marked out for a little bit. Jake Chris, I will say, he got a lot more offense in this match than I thought he should have. Like, not to say that, Jake Chris, he's a job or anything, because I don't watch Impact Wrestling. I don't know anything about this guy, but in comparison to this guy, as compared to a muscled up, jacked to the gills monster that is Brian Cage, I felt like he should not have gotten in as much offense as he did. Like, he got in a few chin locks. He got in some moves. He got Brian Cage down for the pin a few times. I'm like, really? Really? This big 6'4" monster is getting 50-50 on this guy? Really? I wish I could show you. I'm going to have to show you guys a picture of Jake Chris and Brian Cage next to each other. And I'm like, alright, I guess. Anyway, Brian Cage won the match with a, Jake Chris actually got a cutter off the top rope. He got Brian Cage on the top rope, hit a cutter off the top rope. Brian Cage kicked out at 1 and got up seconds later and hit him with the Driller Claw, which is a suplex into a pile driver for the pin, which I always think is a dangerous looking move. But he manages to safely plant his opponent down, so I don't mind it. And Brian Cage got the win. Sami Callihan, alongside his partner, got into the ring to attack Brian Cage after the match. The lights went out. Later, to only find his other partner was gone. It was only Sami Callihan and Cage left in the ring. And via Titantron, we see the Lucha Bros of Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., the guys I really was watching Impact Wrestling for. The guys I really was only going to tune in for. And they weren't wrestling on the show, so I was a bit disappointed. We see them on the Titantron with this guy tied up, bondaged. Oh, Lord. No, not that tied up and bondaged. It's tied up to a chair or something. I mean, the way they're... I don't even know where to go after saying that. Anyway, so they have this guy tied up. They have these, like, sticks of plywood, and they're sticking him in the stomach. And they're speaking Spanish. I can't really comprehend at some points. Then they start speaking. I really didn't care. They say they're cero miedo, and Pentagon super kicks him in the face, and he falls backwards. And that was really the extent of the promo. My question is, the lights were only out for like 10 seconds maybe. So how did Pentagon and Ray get all the way out to the ring, drag this guy to the wherever the hell they might have been, tied him up, and managed to get a satellite promo? How did they do all this in 10 fucking seconds is my question. Undertaker powers, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, after this, we got like 3 promos. Back to back to back. I was like, oh boy, this is interesting. Austin Aries and Moose and Killer Cross had a promo going towards Johnny Impact at Bound for Glory. It was all. Yeah, I didn't care what they were saying. We then got a promo with Katie Lee. I was excited to see her. I remember her from her days as Winter in Impact Wrestling, when she had that whole storyline going on with her, Angelina Love, and Velvet Sky. Yeah, I date back to those days, guys, if you guys remember that. You guys remember Winter. Yeah, I had a big crush on her. Anyway, apparently Grado, or Gato, it's not Gato, it's Grado, is her boyfriend or whatever. And she made a match between Joe Hendry and this new guy she introduced named Murder Clown. Murder Clown, as she said. I'm like, alright. Then we got a next promo. Scarlet Bardot. Her sexy ass. I remember Scarlet Bardot when she had red hair. I think she's a bit more of a bombshell with red hair than she has with blonde hair, but to each their own. She's still good looking. She says she's issuing a talent search for the next man or female for her to manage. And it starts now. And she was being all seductive, biting her lip, putting her tongue on her finger, and slowly caressing herself throughout the promo. So I guess her gimmick is that she's a thought. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, we then get into the next tag team match. The Desi Hit Squad, which looks like the apparent ripoff of Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers. Except Jinder is managing the Singh brothers. That was the kind of vibe I got from this. And the new LAX, not the old LAX to get confused with Homicide and Genocide and Hector Guerrero and Sarita and Rosita. Not to get confused with them. We got some other goons. I don't really know their names because I didn't really care enough. I'll just say this match is boring. I ended up going on my phone the entire match. I did not see a single thing that happened except for the finish. LAX won with a double team move, a power bomb, blockbuster combo. That was pretty interesting. I haven't seen that tag team move before, so that was interesting. They won the match. Afterwards, another Titantron interruption. So no one comes out and interrupts people nowadays. Everyone's a big bitch on this show. Conan was with the new LAX, mind you. So we have another LAX. I guess gang warfare going on here. I don't know who these guys are, but they had Conan's mask. And they lit it on fire, basically calling out Conan. They basically called out Conan, saying, "Oh, this was you back in the day. You were so this, you were so that. What happened to you? And you remember this mask? Well, fuck your mask." And then they burned it. And that was the promo. At this point, I fell asleep. I woke up, it was 3 a.m., and I said, all right, I'll go watch the rest of the show in the morning. So I turned on the show, and this is what I saw. I saw a rip-off Yokozuna-looking motherfucker tucking a skinny white kid into his couch with his coat on. He kissed him on the forehead and was singing him a nursery rhyme. I instantly said, do I have any interest in watching the rest of this show? And I said, no. It's been an hour. There's an hour left. Let's continue watching it. Tessa Blanchard got a promo. This was all promos. Almost no matches in this show, mind you. Tessa Blanchard accepted Taya's challenge, so we'll be Tessa Blanchard versus Taya Valkyrie at Bound for Glory for the Knockouts Championship. Should be a good match. Not that I know if I'm going to watch it or not, based on this show alone, but we're going to get to the next tag team match. I was actually pretty interested in this because I haven't seen any of these women wrestle before. Kiera Hogan, who I've seen pictures of. She's pretty good looking. And Allie, who for the longest time I thought Allie was Laurel Vanessa, only to find out that they're two different people. So that was a bit disappointing. Versus Su Yung and the Undead Maid of Honor. The first question I asked was, where's Rosemary? I was answered this question when commentary said that she was burned alive in a casket. Jesus, Impact Wrestling's getting really gruesome here. So the match kind of just happened. Kiera Hogan won the match with a swinging fisherman neckbreaker. I tried my best to be interested in these matches. I just could not. There was nothing. First of all, let me just say, Josh Matthews, is it Josh I think it's Josh Matthews. He used to be in WWE. He was on commentary. He is nothing more than a worse version of Michael Cole. He is not interesting. He does not get me excited. Don Callis tried his best to carry commentary, but it was just not working. We then got a promo with Su Young's real-life husband or boyfriend or fiance or abuser, Rich Swann, calling out Matt Sydal, who was meditating, and I guess they're having a match soon. We then go to the main event. Johnny Impact versus Eddie Edwards. Johnny Impact and Eddie Edwards versus Austin Aries and Moose. The match was okay. The match also just kind of happened. I mean, there was one cool spot in here where Johnny Impact was... He basically was in the bleachers, leaped out into Killer Cross, did a whole barrel roll, and hit a neckbreaker onto him. Wicked neckbreakers. It used to be his finisher in WWE. I think it was called like the Midnight Delight or Moonlight Drive or something like that. That was really the only cool spot in this match. Another cool spot, I guess, was Moose's spear, which it was a bit over the top. He had a spear, but he did a front flip in the process. I was like, all right. I think it was a bit over the top. But Moose hit the spear onto Eddie Edwards for the pin, winning the match for himself and Austin Aries. And that was Impact Wrestling. And that was absolutely a complete waste of time, in my opinion. I did not at all find this show interesting at all. I sat through the show at night. I fell asleep. I woke up. I watched it. And I said, wow. 7 years really has not done any good to this show. And this might have just been a bad week, but it did not at all make me want to watch the next episode or Bound for Glory or just anything in general. It made me want to go back to not watching Impact Wrestling, really. So maybe I'll try watching the show again next week or in a few weeks or maybe a Bound for Glory. I'm not sure, but this episode sucked. It sucked. It really did. And if you guys feel otherwise, comment down below. What do you guys like about Impact Wrestling? Why are you watching Impact Wrestling? What's good about this show that people are recommending me? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, share it, all that good stuff. I love you guys always, and I will see you all in the next video I do. Peace out.